anyone thinks dogs can't count, there were 2 cans of tuna involved in this lunch, and Keisha knows there's a second tin somewhere. Okay, so you get a beep.
Mr. Capel?
Yes, well, we got this far so far. Keisha's got through the paperwork. So you're going to take your pet, this one's for dogs but it works for ferrets and cats as well. 10 days before going, you visit a vet in the UK or a dedicated vet service, which is like Past Pets, which we used, which are much cheaper. The animal must be microchipped and all the vaccines up to date, and they will then issue you the travel documents. While you're on holiday, identify a local vet and book an appointment that is more than 1 day, 24 hours, before the scheduled arrival time in the UK, and not more than 5 days or 120 hours of your scheduled arrival in the UK. Then, in that period, go to the vet, to your appointment. The vet gives the tapeworm tablet to the dog. The vet fills in, signs and stamps all the travel documents. They will put other essential details onto that as well. Please check the advanced services if you're not sure what that is, because sometimes you have to guide the vets. And then when you return to the check-in for your way home, they will check the microchip, check the travel documents. One important thing is the traveller that's linked to the dog needs to be with them at each stage, because they'll check the name of the person. Just pause on this if you want to review any of the other information. But we're not experts, so just make sure you check with a valid service. One interesting point, the animals are loaded on last, so in 2x2, one assumes, in arc fashion. So you do have to wait a while for your animals to make sure they're empty and got water and that kind of thing, because you're in the queue for quite a long time.
And it's hot today. Hot, yes. Hot. I have an issue really with the dogs going on last, because a very fluffy dog in all this heat. It would be nice if we could get her on board really, but there you go. They obviously have their reasons.
A couple of things we mentioned there. gov.uk for travelling to EU countries or Northern Ireland. Go onto that site and see a few links to check out there. The other good thing, we didn't find it until we came back, but Brittany Ferries have an expert service. Once you've booked, you can go in through your login and look at these things. I haven't, but I'm sure it's equally as great as everything else. And finally, getting the certificate, this Past Pets. We mentioned this low-cost animal health certificates, and they were pretty fantastic actually, so give them a look. We're not affiliated in any way. Hi Keesha. There you go. Hey. Pretty empty here, Keisha, today. Loads of way to a cabin. Keisha, come on, good girl, good girl. There we go. Yeah, good girl, good girl. Right, this is what you get when you come into the dog cabin. You don't get a dog with it. We put her other muzzle on because she doesn't need a muzzle in the cabin, but we're just getting her used to the muzzle.
Weirdly, she seems happier with that muzzle than the other one.
Hannibal Lecter one.
Which is weird.
Well, I think she's got a chance of getting this off.
She hates that one. You think she'd be happier because she could breathe and open her mouth a little bit, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Mind you, that's the one she has when she's having a brush sometimes.
She seems much calmer with this
Yeah.
one.
And she doesn't have to have it in the cabin, she has to have it when she goes for wee-wees and walkies. But what you do get is one of these, which is some form of
Ooh, party bag.
unboxing of a party bag. What are you going here,
Party
Keesha?
bag, Keesha Bear. What's this? We've got a Brittany Ferries
Hat.
water
Dog
bowl, or
Stewardess hat.
perhaps it's a hat for Keesha Bear.
Oh yeah, right. Let's finish the ensemble.
Hat for Keesha Bear.
Yeah, great. I'm loving it. She says.
Hey. Toy. Oh, Keesha, you pushed the boat out with this
Yeah.
one. And a
Oh yeah.
bag.
Poo bag
thing.
thing.
That's it.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. That'll be your water bowl as well
Look,
then.
Keesha, what's this? You can't chew it. You put your muzzle off.
Right, take your muzzle off then, mate.
You take your muzzle off. Is that nice?
Okay.
Well, Keesha Bear, she's been to the wee deck and she hasn't had one. And I shouldn't say that now because now she's decided that getting on the bed is a great idea and the cabins are very comfortable. But we're going out for dinner now, aren't we, Keesha? And you are not. You're staying here. So there's your drink. And we will be back to let you out. Hopefully. The problem is she doesn't understand that if there's no grass and there's no trees, you can still do your business. However, she doesn't get it. Do you? Keesha, you get it? You get it? Keesha? Wait. Keesha, do you get it?
Hey. It was a nice time, Keesha.
Just saying it's a shame that she can't come up to the back up to the bar with us because she's such a good girl, but then there's some doggies I suppose that aren't. You have a nice holiday. You have a nice holiday.
So this is the inside dog cabin. Not sure how we're supposed to operate it, but there are 4 berths, and I'm assuming that the 2 bottom berths are for dogs.
Keesha? Keesha?
Keesha? Yeah, that looks like it is for the... Keisha's decided that's the case.
And Keisha's taking her pet cabin very seriously. She tucked herself up in a bunk.
Keisha's got her trans cool on, which she's quite happy about, because it's quite warm, as we are now in a supermarket in Spain. Keisha's converted Chiwi.
You must have had 3 or 4 glasses each of this sangria. That's right. You're pressing the button, you know. Come on then. Keisha. Keisha, there's more. There's more. Well, Tommy told me she's going to pay our bill. You got enough?
And then we have the two top ones, thus, and that is not a window onto the glorious Mediterranean.
I think people would know that.
I know. This is an inside cabin now, and that's a faux window, which is very cleverly done, actually. Here comes Keesha Bear on her little holly bobs.
Into Grouse now to try our luck with the vets here with Keesha Bear. Within 120 hours of arriving back in the UK and 24 hours, you have to get your dog given a tapeworm tablet, and then they do all the paperwork, so we'll see how it goes. So we've just been into the vets. Nice lady, spoke no English, but very nice lady, and didn't really expect her to speak English because she is in Spain. But yeah, we had a Google Translate of the text we had from Brittany Ferries, and she had a tapeworm tablet, and she filled out the paperwork. So we needed the vet's signature, the name of the product, the date and time of administration, and a stamp signature, and a stamp of the vet's surgery. So yeah, all good. We can now go home, hopefully. Yeah, Steve just made a good point. He said that it's trying to work out the 120 hours and 24 hours when you've got a 2-day ferry trip is a bit tricky. So maybe you could do one of your little graphs to show.
Yes,
I'll get him to do a graph.
So the tapeworm is pretty serious. Take a look on Brittany Ferries' website about why they do this. But essentially, you need to have this 120 hours for. Now here's my infographic. So you see the red crosses there. It's the travel time that's important. So if you work back from your arrival time, then you won't get into any problems. So you can see you're an extra 2 days on the ferry back from Bilbao in our case. So it means that is quite a significant 2 or 3 days. So for us, we're looking at having a safety window between 120 and about 60 hours to go, 70 hours to go. So what we did is we booked for day 5 to come back, which gave us that 120-hour window, and then we're all happy to enjoy the rest of the holiday. Also gives you a bit of a contingency if the vet you've booked for some reason you have a problem with. We didn't, but it did require some language and some Googling and some translating, so just be aware of that. I hope that helps. Just pause this, or again, remember we're not experts, so there you go. I'll get back to you, Dixie. Norma's just doing a bit to camera. Yeah, it's working.
Again?
It's worth mentioning. It's worth mentioning that we've never seen this paperwork before, because we're away out of the ports. That this is completely new, because they were trying to keep the dog passport with us, which of course it doesn't work anymore. We used to carry a pouch of everything. But so you are driving the process. So make sure you understand completely what's there. And as Chris said earlier, do a quick Google Translate and copy that, because it's really handy to help them along as well. And a bit of Spanish helps. I've got a bit of Spanish, and that was enough to work out what days you're going where.
I haven't, but I did manage to say thank you.
I recall the last series from last year started in the same way. Different hat, same twat. But this time, we're not in Epinay. This time we're actually right up here in the Pyrenees. We're back over here, both vans, in a fantastic campsite up here in La Runde.
No, that's a spring onion.
That's the advantage of coming through Spain. What's the other advantage of coming through Spain?
Oh, everything is so much cheaper.
Hello, you bunch of walkers.
This is La Runde. Stunning scenery. Well, having a paella.
Is that because we're in
France.
nice little town?
Yes, it's like a ghost town. It reminds me of Baron Bomber's castle. 280 for the beer, 350 for the wine. Santé, Paul. It's a boomerang time. Ooh! Well, what do you think? Cheers. Cheers. Very cold, and it's not fresh and minerally, I would say, but it is very fruity. Very gooseberry. Gooseberry, yeah.